Welcome back, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, I'm doing an old school 3-pedal shootout between 3 Ibanez tube screamers. These are all Tamura mods. So the inventor of the tube screamer recently released 3 versions of the tube screamer. These all do sound very different, and that's what this video will hopefully showcase. So the one in the center with the silver plate is a TS-808. This is your more traditional tube screamer sound. It's made to replicate the classic late 70s tube screamers with that prominent mid hump, less highs and less lows. This TS9TM over here gives you more top end and more sort of airiness on the note at the expense of that classic mid hump. And I really like this one. For me, this is probably the best for what I do, but they all have their own unique sound and tone. And this one's designed for folks who don't like the normal tube screamer sound. So if you're looking for something that's more full range, more low end, no mid hump and nice tops, that's where this gold plate TS808 comes in. So they've all got their own thing going on. Now, before we get into it, a huge thank you to Kevin from Godlike for sending these out for the reviews. If you missed the reviews, I've already showcased all 3 of them in their own unique video, and I'll link to them in the description box. And if you want to check these out, I'll link them below. All right, let's kick it off. In today's video, I'm playing my Kiesel loaded with a set of the Johnny Highland single coil pickups, and we're going into the PV Classic 50 back here on the clean channel. Now, I'm going to play the same thing a few times and also some shorter licks and chords just so you can get a good sense of how these all compare. We're going to start with everything at 12 o'clock on the pedals or close enough, and it should be enough to instantly tell the difference between them all. So let's give this a shot. This is my clean tone. Already I hear a big difference between them. There's less tops on the middle one. There's less mids on this one, which is the design of it. And this one is kind of like the sweet spot between them both. We still get the mids, but it has more sort of like upper note attack and high frequencies in there. Let's go to bridge pickup. I can hear a big difference between them in the room, but they all sound pretty great. Let's crank up the gain. And now with everything cranked to about 1 o'clock, this will be neck pickup on the guitar. We'll cycle through all of them again, starting with the TS9. This one definitely has more low end, and it's not even close. I can hear it in the room. There's no questions about it. Whereas this one has a much more pronounced mid hump. And I'm going to cycle through each of them again on bridge pickup so you can get a good sense of this. Here we go. This would be the one that you could leave on and not actually feel like you're losing low end. Whereas on this one, why you get that huge mid hump, it's definitely rolling out some of those lower frequencies. But Yeah, all of these sound really great. Let's crank up the drive a little bit further. All right, let me show you the difference between the gain structure. So the gain is cranked on all pedals. Let's start with the TS9. Yeah, I mean, which one do you like the best, right? So that's the best one for you. But what I want to do now is use this on the drive channel of my amplifier. We'll run some lower gain settings up next. Here we go. Over to the drive channel on my amplifier now. A lot of people like to use tube screamers as a boost. So I've got the volume up, the gain down. We're going to start with the tone control right in the center. This is my starting tone here. I gotta say, man, that mid boost on the tube screamer really helps this drive channel. Like, that would cut the mix great. I also really love this one. Over to neck pickup, I'm just gonna play a couple of licks on the high strings here just so you can get a good sense of how they compare. Starting with this one. And the classic tube screamer definitely sounds great pushing the amp. It just gives you a little bit more sort of that mid-hump frequency that would cut through the mix. And again. And I also love the tops on this one. They all cut through really well. This one gives you like a bit of a 3D sound in the room thanks to that mid frequency. This one definitely gives you way more tops than the rest of them. And this one's kind of like right in the middle. It really does feel great to play this one. It's kind of the good middle ground when you're pushing an amp. Even though it doesn't give you that prominent sort of mid-hump frequency of this one, it's still giving you plenty of oomph. Let's just play some basic chord stuff on bridge. Man, I could get into all of these. They really do sound great. I know that's a cop-out. I think my favorite out of them all is this guy over here. If you're pushing a dirty amp, you know, it could go either way depending on your ear, but this one in the center, TS808, really does sound great. And again, while this doesn't give you that mid bump, it's giving you a more balanced sound overall, so you can kind of pick the best one for the job. And to wrap things up, what we're going to do now is stack all three. One of the things I've seen in the comments section over the last 15 years or so of doing shootout videos, everybody wants to hear them all on at the same time. So we're going to start this way and then incrementally add boosts and more gain this way. So here we go. This is the clean channel. So loud.